The Penitent One's pilgrimage to the land of Custodia uprooted the foundation that had been firmly established by the grievous miracle and its worship. In the Age of Penance, the last surviving member of the Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow committed the ultimate act of blasphemy and slew His Holiness Escobar, the papal figure of the Church. But what drove the Penitent One to these lengths? And why did he sacrifice everything to change the fate of the devout followers of Custodia? Ironically enough, the man who would forever alter the face of Custodia never uttered a single word on his journey. As a member of the Brotherhood of the Silent Sorrow, he and his brothers in the faith had taken a vow of silence, as a symbolic gesture that God had fallen silent himself. Although the details around his silence were never explored in depth, this little tidbit has incredible lore implications and may suggest the presence of other deities that reign over Custodia. In addition to their silent protest, the Penitent One had also entered the Chapel of the Kneeling Stone and unsheathed the mea culpa from its resting place. The sword's physical manifestation served as the sole instrument that could wield the entirety of all of Custodia's guilt in its hilt. Removing such a relic from its altar was a forbidden act. Due to this act of heresy, the Brotherhood was excommunicated from the Church, and each member was mercilessly removed from this mortal coil. His Holiness Escobar had ordered his anointed legion to eradicate every single soul that was part of the Brotherhood. But death wasn't the end for the Penitent One. It was simply a temporary setback on his journey to unveil the hidden truths concealed behind the blind faith of the congregation. As he continued on his pilgrimage, he obtained the 3 holy wounds that would grant him passage to the Mother of Mothers Church. Each of the wounds represented a symbolic sore that a soul must endure in order to cause a crack in the mother and profane the forbidden. Essentially, the 3 humiliations were named as such to prevent pious individuals from seeking them out. Once the 3 holy wounds were obtained, they would serve as a key to open the threshold to the Mother of Mothers Church and allow access to not only the secrets of the Church, but His Holiness Escobar himself. Because of his audacious faith, the Penitent One was able to communicate with the long-dead Perpetua in her hidden tomb and find a means to befriend her beloved brother Esdras. After a brief encounter, Esdras revealed that he had been entrusted with a key that even Diosdado did not have in his possession. This key was used to lock away the forbidden 4th holy visage, which had been deemed a traitor by the powers that be. The Penitent One retrieved the golden eyes of the traitor and was granted the true heart of mea culpa and the location of the final humiliation. Interestingly enough, the item descriptions for these relics revealed the hidden truths that the traitor had seen with his own eyes before they were plucked out for his transgressions. It's important to note that the Penitent One's penance was specifically his vow of silence. Considering the sheer amount of information he had uncovered, it must have been incredibly tempting for him not to break his vow and reveal what he had discovered. Instead, he would remain steadfast in his beliefs and find another way to deliver his message in silence. A message that would be heard throughout the entirety of Custodia despite his muted voice. Armed with the secret holy wound of abnegation and the true heart of the mea culpa, the Penitent One committed the ultimate act of blasphemy and slew His Holiness Escobar. Instead of sacrificing himself and restoring the faith of a misdirected flock in a false miracle, he traversed to the other side of the dream and confronted the sadistic puppet masters who had orchestrated every manifestation of the miracle for their own selfish agenda. The Penitent One silenced the high wills, freeing the miracle in the process and severing his ties to it once and for all. This ultimate sacrifice would allow the miracle to be reborn and gave the people of Custodia a chance at a spiritual renewal under the new system of things. In trying times of physical and spiritual oppression, titles such as traitor, heretic, and blasphemer may be used to describe an individual who sees the truth through the thick veil of deception and misinformation ahead of his time. Although in the eyes of the Church, the Penitent One and his actions were damnable offenses, perhaps it was the very Church itself and the false gods it worshipped that were the most blasphemous of all. And until next time, it's the Inhuman One signing out.